how did this story start? I mean, have you had experience with haunted hotels, or was this just a fun idea?
I have seen ghosts, and people who know me are really unsettled by that because I'm a pretty like straight-laced, logical person. So when I say I've seen ghosts, it's way more unsettling than like your friend who has a lot of crystals. One of them, I was in the Omni Hotel in New Orleans, and I woke up to see a shadowy figure at the other end of the bed. And I shone a light on it, and when I turned the light away, it was there again. I was awake enough to like try to process, is there a shadow being thrown? Nothing. And I didn't want to wake my wife and freak her out, so I just said out loud to the shadow, okay, and went back to bed. Because what else do you do? I'm not gonna like wake her up, you know. And
Right.
then there was another one. We lived in renting up in Sherman Oaks in the Valley in LA. This old farmhouse, just very out of the neighborhood. It had been built like 100 years ago. And the owner's mother, we later found out, didn't know at the time, had just died of old age there. And like 2 weeks after we moved in, I saw a woman sitting at the end of the bed. Again, this time early morning, I woke up and it wasn't a shadow. It was like there was like clearly someone there. And when I closed my eyes and opened again, she was gone. There was some other
Oh
stuff in that
God.
house with like rattling that like some of it you could attribute to like it's an old house and things creak, but some
Sure.
weird elements. And when I was at Rick and Morty, that's, a show that leans into sci-fi and runs with those concepts. And I know today Rick and Morty will do more horror concepts, but back season two, it was pretty exclusively sci-fi. And I found myself having a lot of horror ideas that I wanted to do that didn't quite fit the world. So I was like, well, I'm going to make my own Rick and Morty. I'm going to make my own family comedy that is set in a horror world. And I kind of built it out from there based off of my favorite references. The Shining and The Conjuring came in there at some point. I love The Orphanage,
Mm.
which is a Spanish horror movie, Bayona. And just creating this place that I wanted to feel like an old New England hotel that like has a real tactile feel to it, and then putting a family in it. It felt like a nice foundation from which we could run with any horror concept we wanted.